Juan Camilo Tamayo, Juanca Tamayo here from JCT for Education for you. And we have had a high school student coming. We have a student coming, a high school student coming today, and he is trying to check in. This is our second attempt. We already had a college student, Nicole Schwain at Occidental, and here we have Olloqui. So finally, let's see where he's at. He's checking. This is taking a few seconds here. Hola, Rafa.
Hello. I wasn't getting your request for the live before. Sorry.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
¿Cómo estás?
Todo bien.
¿Todo bien?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
Rafa,
just got.
what's behind you right now? What do I see on that wall?
Well, this is my skateboard decks. And this is a port like a canvas that my cousin made for me, and I actually made some of those boards myself.
Would you collect them?
Yeah, my
Okay.
room's full of them.
Good. How many do you have?
Um, like 10.
10. They look really cool, Rafa. So, Rafa, did you just finish class?
Yeah, I finished class at 3:15 today because we follow regular schedule in my school in Palmer.
Okay. So, Rafa, a lot of schools from around the world, you're a junior, you're in 11th grade, and a lot of students are experiencing the same uh, experience. There are students that have been doing homeschooling for years, for centuries. But there are different models. You have the model of going and commute to the school every day. And recently, probably the last 3 weeks, we all been at home. I counted today is day 26 for me at home. And I believe this is your third week doing online courses, correct?
Yeah, we had three like kind of test days, I guess you could call them,
Okay.
because right after that we had a spring break, and ever since we got back from spring break, we've been doing online school, and I did. Last week was my first full week of online school, and it's going to be my second.
Okay. And first and foremost, how's your health? How's your family health? Are you okay?
We're all doing good. We're like quarantined, not leaving the house, and we started doing it early on. So we took action from a very early stage of like when we heard of the news. So we're all doing fine.
Good. So, Rafa, yesterday we had a social worker, Adriana von Simpson, and Adriana, she gave us a very nice recommendation. Actually, we posted on JCT for Education account, and it's like a menu: dessert, main course, and appetizer. So you follow that through. So walk us through Monday through Friday with you. Since you wake up, how do you work this out?
Yeah, well, basically, my school has a planner that they give to us, like at the beginning of a regular school year, and it has every single day planned out, like period wise. My school, the periods are in letters, so it's periods A through G, and it kind of has like a not a block system, but you don't have every class every day. It's 5 classes per day, but every class you have 2 classes after lunch, and those 2 classes you do not have them the next day. And basically, every single student has their agenda with them, and we follow the same time that we like the same time schedule that we follow in school, and same periods at the same time every day.
Good. So, Rafa, on Friday we had the associate dean from UCLA, Fiona Reese. She was live with us, and one of the recommendations was make sure that you sign on every day. Make sure that you do your homework every day, because as you can tell, a lot of schools will go test optional this fall. So I know you've been studying very diligently for standardized testing. Keep doing what you're doing, but the high school transcript is a very important tool for admission counselors. So are they taking attendance at your school right now with online school?
Yeah. At the beginning of every class, the teacher goes through roll, which is basically attendance. They call your name, and everyone has to say that they're present.
Okay.
And then aside from that, there's a document where we need to log in, not really log in, but just say that you're there, check in and check out, so that the school has like written evidence of that you attend all your classes. And then there's certain students that have, for example, study halls that you don't need to attend anything during that time. So that's
Okay.
basically time to yourself.
Huh?
But yeah, every teacher makes sure that they check in and see that all their students are there.
And how are you doing with homework? Are you turning in your assignments on time? And how are you preparing for exams?
Yeah, all my homework is being turned in on time. I think it's kind of easier to organize yourself while staying at home because you have a lot of time to yourself, and like with what we're going through, you don't really have many distractions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the thing is that there's not um, there's not like there's not that teacher telling you what you need to do for that day. So you have to be
Mm-hmm.
really like attentive of like your own things, like your emails, your any messages that your teacher might be able to send. But I'm coping pretty well with it right now.
Good, thank you. So we have a lot of jockeys signing up on this live, probably
Yeah,
a lot of your relatives. So to all the jockey family, hello. We are here with Rafael Jockey, high school student, 11th grader. Buenas tardes a todos los que nos están viendo en este momento. Rafa, so you finish school around 3:45, correct?
yeah.
And then what happens from 3:45 until you go to bed? We're very
I mean,
curious about that part.
normally I leave school at 3:15, and then I have to get to my house, and that takes an hour. So that's kind of like my where I like get distracted and like don't really like think about school during that time when I drive back to the
But
house.
not drive.
But
So you can't drive. So what are you
yeah, but
doing
now
on that
now that
hour?
I don't have that time, I kind of set the same schedule for myself. So like I give myself a breather after school, so like I don't start doing homework until around 4:30,
Uh-huh.
and that's what I normally would be doing. So it's not like I'm giving myself less time. But
Okay.
also, there's a lot of times that when it gets to the time that school's over, I have done some homeworks because since like a 1 hour long Zoom is like feels longer than a 1 hour long class, so like there's a lot of times that the teacher lets you go before time and you're able to like get some work done before school actually
What
ends.
has been the most difficult course to take online?
I think the most difficult course is my European history class
Really? How so?
because I feel like my other teachers have had an incentive to like adapt their teaching system or like their teaching skills to like online learning. Like for example, my chemistry teacher, he's really good with technology, so like he prepares videos for us made by him, like made on his own, and then you watch them. But if you have any, you watch them during his set time in the schedule. But if you have any questions, he can like you can go in and ask him, and he uses different like breakout rooms, which are like he makes different groups between the Zoom, and like we do group activities together. And my math teacher also does that as well, the videos
So,
and stuff.
so one of my recommendations is patience. Everybody's adjusting, or everybody's
Yeah,
good
for
with
sure.
technology. So just give it a try. Personal recommendation: send her or him a side email, and just say that if you're roughing or you're struggling a little bit, how could you improve that with extra assignment or extra work? But just everybody has to be patient. So I'm sure that you're giving that opportunity to faculty and teachers to be patient.
Yeah.
Now, let's move into the next topic. So, eating, cooking, are you helping your parents at home with cooking skills or not much?
I mean, during the week when like I don't eat at the same time as them because going back to the schedule, I eat during at the same time that I would eat at school. I mean, I would be able to eat at the end of the day, but that's like way too long from when I woke up. So I make sure that I like have enough time to eat, but in the on the weekends and stuff, I try and help for sure
Okay.
because it's a lot of people at the house at the same
Rafa,
time.
where are you guys from? Tell our audience.
We're from Spain, from a city called Zaragoza, in
Okay,
between Madrid and Barcelona.
beautiful. So I'm sure the Spanish food at home is absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
Good. So, Rafa, I know you're very passionate about horses. That's one of your hobbies. That's the way you release stress.
yeah.
And every weekend you go see your beautiful horse. How are you dealing with the stress? What it's not replacing the horse hobby, but what has replaced that for now that we are at home? How do you release your stress at home?
Well, I mean, I feel like there's something to me that's missing right now, which is like my sport and my activity, because it's my favorite thing to do. But I mean, I play soccer with my family. We do like family tournaments at the house. Like everything's at the house, and then I've got a lot of time to like to spend time with my family. For example, my sister's back from college, so like that's just like made me like kind of step away from like academics, not in the same way that I'm used to, but in a different way, and it's kind of working out well, and I think we're making the best of it.
Okay, we have a couple questions from our followers here. One is, what do you think is gonna feel like when you go back to school? Actually, to the building, to your physical building.
Um, I don't think it's gonna feel weird. I just think that there's gonna be one common feeling between everyone that's like we've missed it so much. I mean,
Okay.
like uh, I miss going to school because it's not the same thing. Like, yes, I do have my same schedule every day, but I don't have like that fun with my friends at like during school because I mean, aside from academics, you spend time with your people, and like that's one of like the best parts of your high school experience. And I'm
Okay.
sure that that it's gonna be very like it's gonna be a great feeling when we get back.
And
But I don't think we're gonna be
okay,
getting back this year, unfortunately.
okay. Yeah, it looks like we're here for the long haul. Now, the
Yeah.
last question here is, what have you learned from this experience?
Um, I've learned that a lot of things that we think that need to be done we can hold back on them.
Okay.
Like right now, for example, we're all in our houses and stuff, and we're not living the regular life that we're used to. But there's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with that. It's just
Okay.
that we're not used to living this. We're used to like living this like life that everything needs to be done on time. We need to do this. We need to do that at this time for this person and all that. And we realize that you can wait up on that and sort of like the amount of time that we have to ourselves right now to like feel ourselves and like think about other things that we never thought about. I think that it's something very important that we take for granted.
Rafa, I worked in admissions for many years, almost 16 and a half, 17 years. For those colleagues of ours that are watching or they be
Hmm.
watching this video, if you have a specific message for an admission counselor that is going to be reading your application, what is that message that you have for them?
Um, the message I have for them, I mean, as a junior,
Yes.
I
And you
think
become
that
a senior next year. So,
yeah, as a junior, what I want to tell to them is that like I obviously know that they're gonna be understanding of the situation, and like I hope that they are understanding of the situation, but like to really put themselves into our shoes, like the fact that I've been planning this whole year to like take an X amount of SATs if I need them, and now I don't have the same opportunity of test taking,
mhm.
stuff like that. I hope and I think that it's going to like influence and I'm pretty sure that they're gonna manage to handle the situation in a different way. But what I want them to know is to like to make sure that they feel what we're going through.
Okay, well, I'm sure they do. I've been attending a lot of seminars. Last night, there was a very interesting webinar with admission deans, and definitely they're going to be very flexible. They were talking about college essays, how many coronavirus essays they're going to be reading this fall. So they say absolutely you can write about, but you have to be very creative. But I know you're ahead of schedule with college planning and so forth. So my message to you is keep doing what you're doing. You're an amazing student. Keep with your dreams. Don't let anyone tell you that the dream cannot be done. I trust you will do absolutely well. But this message is going around the world. A lot of people be watching us on YouTube, on JCT for Education, etc., etc. But I'm very proud of you. Hang in there. And I really
Thank
want
you.
to thank you for sharing this space with the students, the families, colleagues from universities, high school counselors, because they need to see the other side. And